Hello there YouTube, it is your boy 3 back with another kicking, you guessed it, action figure review. Today we're looking at one I was very excited for when it was announced. I got it relatively quickly. It is the Bandai Japan Movie Monster Series 2023 Monster X, or as some of you may know him, Kaiser. Yes, this is the new Bandai Monster X. I don't believe they've done one in the series since this big 8-inch one they did back in 2004 when this character premiered. But I never got that one. I was always hesitant to get it just because it was 8-inch, and I mostly collect 6-inch. But now I am glad because we do have this one. Now, I have seen the 8-inch one many, many times. It does appear to have better paint and probably better detail than this guy. But, you know, he's a relatively affordable 6-inch. The only other 6-inch one of this guy that I can think of is the Monster Art, and it is hellishly expensive and probably just going to go up in price, to be completely honest with you. And I did pre-order it back in the day, but I canceled it, and I'm glad I did, because if I would have known this guy was coming out, I wouldn't have ordered it at all. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Let me show you his tag. It cost me about $30 to import this guy, all things said and done, which was pretty good. I think $30 is fine. You can see it's the 2023 edition. Monster X. There's a picture of him there. There's all the legal info and stuff on the inside. And then on the back, you can see it's Monster X's back, not Godzilla's back, from the film Godzilla Final Wars, Movie Monster Series, Bandai, Namco, etc. Pretty cool. Let's set that over there and bring Kaiser himself back into frame. Kaiser! Alright, so articulation time. His face rotates. So his head doesn't rotate at the neck, his face rotates, which I kind of understand, because if you put a rotation in that neck, it would just be blocked by his shoulder heads anyway. So I kind of get the face articulation. They were like, we need to give that head a little more playability for the kids, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. We also have rotations on the arms. You can see they are blocked by the shoulder heads as well. If you pull them out a little, you can do 360. But without doing that, you know, that little bit scrapes there, but you can come around. It's a lot easier to do 360 in this direction, counterclockwise, than it is to do it clockwise, I think. See, because that point hits there. So it's easier to do it that way. Alright, and then here on the waist, you can see how it looks like articulation right there. It, however, is not. It is a glue seal. There's nothing on the legs, but there is a rotation on the tail. So he's got 4 points, which is fine by me for this guy. What just happened to his arm? Oh my god. It went inside the joint. What? That's never happened on one of these vinyls for me before. That was insane. Did you see that? That's definitely not an intentional feature. Yeah, this arm doesn't do that. Wow. That's wild. Wow, guys. Wow. Well, if that can get him in more poses, he can wave hello. Ugh. Whack. That's so weird. But yeah, 4 points. Now, I feel like not a lot of collectors are going to complain about 4 points for a soft vinyl. I think that's fine. I think what most adult collectors are going to complain about on this guy is the paint. He's missing a lot of white. And this is a cheap kids figure, or at least it's cheap in Japan. It's a little more expensive just to get it imported over here. But there is a lot of white, just like that should be totally white. And you can see where they just stop painting it when it goes on the inside, and I'm like, what is this? The Ultra Monster 500 series? Am I right, folks? So yeah, he's missing a lot of white paint. But once again, this is the cheap figure for kids to slam into other cheap figures. So I kind of get it. At the same time, it's like, you could tell how blank it is in a lot of spots. You just look at it and you're like, that is a blank tail. So even as a kid's figure, I feel like it doesn't have enough paint, because there are other Movie Monster series that do have more paint. Like, he's got the red eyes and stuff, even though they don't really pop. But, like, I think this is a good segue into size comparisons, because I do want to show him with another Movie Monster series figure that I think has much better paint than him. And that would be this Movie Monster series Guardian of the Universe Gamera. This is the more recent Guardian of the Universe Gamera. And I think they scale pretty cool. But Gamera just has such better paint. And more articulation. But not just 1 point more. But yeah, Gamera's paint is much better. Anyway, that's him with the Movie Monster series. Looks like he'll scale well with the other 6 inches in his own line. And as we always say on this channel, that's all that matters, is that a figure scales well with its own line. But let's show it with some other things, like maybe some Western figures, like this Bandai Creations Godzilla 2000. That's pretty cool. You know, 2 Millennium Era characters. I think that's a really cool scaling. Next up, how about a slightly more recent US Godzilla, because that's the OG release of that Millennium Godzilla from when I was a kid. But here is the Playmates Godzilla terrestris, who's, you know, short, but he's like supposed to be, you know. This isn't the final form. I think that looks pretty cool. That works for me. Now, I'm going to show one more kaiju. This one's more of a super articulated kaiju. It is the Titanic Creations Gorgo. Maybe a little short for Gorgo. She's down there a little bit, but you know, it's okay. I suppose it just depends. I just kind of like him eye level, you know what I mean? Anyway, now let's show him with a dinosaur. I just like to show a dinosaur with the kaiju sometimes, you know? So here he is with one of my favorite dino figures in my collection. It is the Papo Green running a T-Rex. And now I know this isn't anywhere like what the scaling would actually be, but I display my kaiju and dinosaurs together, so for me it's important to know how they scale. Looks cool though. They kiss. Alright, so if you want to see reviews of any of those figures, by the way, I have reviewed all of them on this channel. Some more recently than others, but what are my final thoughts on the Bandai Namco Japan 2023 Movie Monster Series Kaiser Monster X? I mean, he's cool. I like the sculpt. I have no issue with the detail. I have no real issue with the articulation. It's really just, I wish there was a little more paint. I'm not asking for, like, a wash or anything. Just a little more white paint where he's supposed to be white. That's all I want. Just a little more white paint, even if it's only on the fronts of him and sides. Just a little more, especially on that. The tail just feels so blank, because I know there's supposed to be some white here. He just feels kind of blank. Even as a kid's figure, it just feels like he's missing something. I don't know. But the sculpt is cool. He scales well with his own line and with other lines. And I'm glad to finally have this character in 6-inch form without breaking the bank. So, that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I will be seeing you all next time. Bye for now.